because it's not calculatable, it's not describable, how the one turns into the many. But what I can say is that it doesn't really turn into the many. That's just part of the illusion. That's how it can start to experience itself. When the one wants to experience itself, when there's only one thing that is existence itself, how can it ever experience itself? How can it experience its infinity, its glory? It can only experience itself through contrast. So it needs experiences. It needs consciousness filled with experiences of all different kinds, from all different points of view.
But it has to then have a desire for that.
Yes, that's right.
Something separate from itself.
Exactly. Did you say the desire is separate from itself?
Yeah, it has a desire to experience itself. That is still already stepping out of oneness.
Is it? How can there be a stepping out of oneness? Wouldn't that be oneness? If there's only one existence, how can anything be separate from it? Even the desire for it to experience itself in the myriad of ways that it is expressing and experiencing itself. That too is still the one. It is so infinite in its power and capability that it can create the illusion of separation, can create the illusion of individuality in order to experience itself, but it's still the one. And that's the mystery, and that can be tapped into within. It cannot be understood from the point of view of the physical eyes looking out into the physical world. It just doesn't make sense. It cannot make sense. It's a mystery. So the more we relax within ourselves, the more we get in touch with that mystery, that sense of awe, that sense of belonging to all that is. And from there, we gather knowledge of a different kind. We gather what we could call intuition, which is direct knowledge, just as much as seeing that chair is direct knowledge. But because it's not really considered normal or discussed about in our society, we call it something out there or intuitive. But it's really just direct experience from a more relaxed place of consciousness. We start to see different things, know different things instantaneously. And it comes with a clarity that's undeniable. So too, intuitions of questions like you just asked. You can simply drop the question within yourself in that relaxed state and allow the answer to bubble up and clarify itself over time. And you'll have your own understanding of it. My understanding of it is that the one is everything, and everything is the one, and that can never be separated. So everything that's ever created is inevitably part of that existence. It comes from that existence, and it resides within the illusion of that existence being present as a world or as a universe. But that's only one level of its existence. It has many levels to its existence, many of which are unseen to the conditioned mind, to the conditioned consciousness. The more blinders we put down, the more expansive our consciousness of ourselves becomes, and the more we start to see and intuit and know and be able to interact with, etc. How? I don't know. Because it's not a mechanical question like, oh, how do I put this table together? Well, we put this here, this there. It cannot be answered in such a way. It can be answered through just because. My answer usually is because it can, it will. Anything that can happen will happen in one form or the other, in one shape or one dimension or one reality or the other. If something can happen, it will happen. It's because infinity is infinite in its potential. So it will create infinite angles or points of view of itself. Every point of view of itself we call a different being or a different experience. But it's really just the one self viewing itself, understanding itself, experiencing itself from a different angle. Just like a diamond. You can look into the same diamond from many different angles and perceive different creations of that one light. It splits up in many different colors. But really it's still the one light. The color blue never left the white light. It is created out of the white light. It cannot exist without the white light. Without the one, the many cannot be. So to get in tune with that contemplation, with that realization, is for it to become more and more experiential. Does it answer your question? Somewhat?
I understand.
Thank you. Does it satisfy you?
It does. You can't answer with a logical thing, and so we can't get a logical solution because it's beyond that. Logic was created within the one, so it can't
That's right.
answer itself.
Nothing within the one can explain the one. Nothing within consciousness can explain consciousness. Beautiful.